Before the story begins, welcome to Mythic Abyss. We map the monsters the world tried to forget. From every culture, from every era, from every shadow. New creature, every week. Subscribe so the abyss doesn't swallow you whole. Welcome to Mythic Abyss. Our beautiful killer series enters its darkest chapter yet. The Huldra hunted in forests. The Yukiana hunted in blizzards. The Lamia hunted in the night. Tonight's creature hunts in the one place you cannot defend, your dreams. The succubus is a demon from medieval Christian demonology that takes the form of a beautiful woman and visits men while they sleep. She appears in the dream as the most desirable woman the sleeper can imagine, perfectly tailored to his deepest desires. She seduces him, they have sex, and when he wakes, he is drained, exhausted, confused, and carrying a burden of guilt that the medieval church was more than happy to exploit. The word succubus comes from the Latin succubare, meaning to lie beneath. Its male counterpart is the incubus, from incubare, to lie upon. Together, they form the most complete system of sexual demonology in Western religious history. The succubus drains men, the incubus assaults women, and both were used for centuries to explain, excuse, and punish sexual experiences that the church could not otherwise control. The succubus first appears in Jewish mystical tradition, where the demon Lilith, Adam's first wife, who refused to be subordinate, was said to visit men at night and steal their seed. This tradition was absorbed into early Christianity and elaborated by medieval theologians into a comprehensive theory of demonic sexual predation. By the 15th century, the succubus was established doctrine. The Malleus Maleficarum, the infamous witch-hunting manual published in 1487, devoted entire chapters to the mechanics of how demons could take female form and have physical intercourse with human men. The theological explanation was elaborate. The succubus would visit a man, collect his semen, then transform into an incubus, and use that semen to impregnate a woman. The resulting child would be half human, half demon. This theory was used to explain unwanted pregnancies, birth defects, and any child who displayed unusual behavior. It was also used to prosecute women accused of witchcraft, since consorting with demons was a capital offense. This is the story of the creature that turns the forest itself against you. And she has been doing it quietly, invisibly, every night for 2,000 years. The real explanation for the succubus is almost certainly sleep paralysis, one of the most common and most terrifying sleep disorders in the world. During sleep paralysis, a person wakes up, unable to move, often with a vivid sense of a presence in the room, pressure on the chest, and intense hallucinations that can include sexual sensations. The experience is so realistic that sufferers frequently believe they have been visited by a supernatural entity. Sleep paralysis affects an estimated 8% of the global population at least once in their lives. The hallucinations it produces are shaped by cultural expectations. In medieval Europe, the visitor was a succubus, or incubus. In Japan, it is the Kanashibari ghost. In Newfoundland, it is the old hag. In East Africa, it is a demon called Papabawa. The underlying neurological event is identical. The cultural interpretation varies. This makes the succubus one of the most important creatures on this channel for understanding how monsters are created. She is not invented, she is experienced. Millions of people throughout history have genuinely felt a presence in their bedroom, felt unable to move, and felt something sexual happening to them while paralyzed. The succubus is the medieval European explanation for a real neurological event that humans have been experiencing since before civilization existed. The church's exploitation of the succubus legend had devastating consequences. Women who experienced sexual dreams or who became pregnant under suspicious circumstances could be accused of having consorted with demons. Men who confessed to succubus visitations were given penance, but women accused of being succubi or of summoning them were burned at the stake. The succubus legend became a weapon of the Inquisition. used to control sexual behavior, punish women, and enforce the church's monopoly on the interpretation of the supernatural. The Leshy's influence extends beyond folklore into modern Russian environmental movements, when Soviet-era industrialization threatened old-growth forests. Rural communities revived Leshy stories as a form of cultural resistance. The Forest Lord became a symbol of what was being lost, and his name appeared in unofficial protest literature. In the 2015 video game The Witcher 3, the Leshen is directly based on the Slavic Leshy, bringing the Forest Lord into mainstream gaming. Millions of players have now encountered a creature that rural Russian grandmothers have been warning their grandchildren about for 1,000 years. The succubus has had a massive cultural afterlife. In modern media, she has been transformed from a theological horror into a fantasy archetype. Video games from Castlevania to Diablo 2 Persona feature succubus characters. Anime and manga have embraced the succubus as a romantic and comedic figure, and the broader concept of a beautiful demon who seduces. Andrains has influenced vampire fiction from Bram Stoker to True Blood. But the succubus's most important modern legacy is in how we understand the intersection of sexuality, power, and blame. The medieval succubus narrative placed all blame on the woman, even when she was a demon. The man was a victim. The woman, whether human or supernatural, was the predator. This narrative pattern, the sexually aggressive woman as the source of male ruin, has persisted in Western culture for centuries. It appears in the femme fatale of film noir, in the concept of the gold digger, and in the persistent cultural trope that men are helpless before female beauty. So here is what the succubus teaches us. She is not real. She never was. She is a projection of human desire onto a convenient scapegoat. A way for a society that feared sexuality to explain it without taking responsibility for it. The demon made me do it. The beautiful woman seduced me. I had no choice. This excuse is 2,000 years old, and it is still being used today. Every time someone says they couldn't help themselves, every time someone frames their own desire as someone else's weapon, the succubus is alive and well. She just doesn't need horns and wings anymore. She lives in the language we use to avoid accountability. Tonight's question connects every episode in this series. We have now met 5 beautiful killers: Huldra, Yukiana, Lamia, Succubus. In every case, the woman is framed as the predator and the man as the victim. But who is really the victim in these stories? The man who is lured, or the woman who is blamed? Tell me in the comments. This conversation truly matters. 9 episodes. And this series on beautiful killers has revealed something that goes far beyond mythology. It has revealed a pattern in how cultures across the world process desire, blame, and the fear of female power.